So pretty frequently when I'm in those widow Facebook groups, I see people commenting that they really want to travel, but they feel badly. Like they have to make some excuse for the fact that they just need a little bit of a break. And when I see that, I always feel like I just want to yell through the screen, it's okay. You need that. You need some sort of relief from the stresses of widowhood and from the grief stacking that happens when you are just living within your home. And there is reminder after reminder, responsibility after responsibility. I just want to basically give them a hug and be like, please take a break. Please allow yourself that relief. If you're somebody who knows you want to prioritize travel and you would like some support doing that, let's hop on a travel clarity call. What I do on these calls is I talk to you about what are your goals, what are your dreams when it comes to travel, how I can help you to do that within your capacity and your budget in a way that feels responsible and supported. So the link is down below. Go ahead and hop on my calendar and we will talk about how to get you there. There are so many ways that people deal with the intense stress that comes with widowhood. Some of them are really healthy. For example, people meditate or do yoga, talk to a medium, or do somatic work, exercise. Those are some of the really healthy ones. And then there's things that are a little bit more numbing, like drinking or just holing up in your house or doom scrolling or drugs or overworking or staying busy 24/7. I really want to make the case today that travel is one of the super healthy ways that you can go about healing during your grief journey. Obviously, this is not going to take your grief away. We know nothing will take your grief away, but I have found travel to be incredibly healing and transformative for a bunch of reasons. My goal today is basically to give you some permission to relieve the guilt that you feel, because I think it is a legitimate way for you to process everything that you're going through as a widow. Traveling gave me some things I really needed. It gave me some relief, some perspective, space to breathe. And for me, the biggest thing was that it gave me a pretty constant reminder that the world is still beautiful and there is still so much to be lived despite going through this really impossibly hard thing. It's not about pretending you're fine or anything. It really is just about taking that break that you need, maybe recharging your batteries a little bit so that you can withstand the intense challenge of widowhood and give your nervous system, your body, your mental capacity a little bit of a boost that it might need. So if you have thought about travel, but you've really been sort of overridden by that guilt, maybe you've thought things like, if I go, I'm avoiding my grief, or it's irresponsible for me to go, or I shouldn't spend my money frivolously, or maybe even like if you're making new memories without him, it feels like some sense of betrayal. But having that guilt, it doesn't make you more of a loyal husband or wife to your spouse who died. It just makes you live with guilt. And I'm not sure that's servicing anybody, to be honest. And I'm not sure about you, but I definitely felt like there were so many eyes on me and I had to make the right decisions, and I didn't want people to feel like I was doing widowhood wrong, which I know is sort of silly, but it was just a predominant thought in my mind. So I understand if you feel like traveling doesn't look right to the public, but at the end of the day, you're really just answering to yourself and maybe to your kids if you have them. And the good news is that you're actually in control of how you build and rebuild your life. If it's good for you, you should do it. Finding relief, whether it's through yoga or through travel or other means, is not irresponsible. It is good and healthy for you. So I'm going to speak a little bit from my perspective personally and what I've experienced over the course of the last 6 years of widowhood. But then also I have surveyed many different widows who have shared information with me about why and how they travel. And I thought it would be helpful for you to hear that as well, because one of the things in widowhood, especially if you're young, is that most likely you feel very much alone. Like you're going through this experience. It's pretty isolating. So I just want to share with you that I have a plethora of widow friends who prioritize travel as a means of healing, and they've shared really helpful information with me that I hope will sort of give you permission to do what you want to do. So the first reason I think would be best described as relief, it's largely about reducing, let's call it the trigger stack, right? When I'm home and I look around, my life at home as a widow is, especially if I'm a single parent at the time, is filled with responsibilities, grief triggers, things like being home alone at night, memories everywhere, and that is compounding day after day after day. It's important for you to get a break from that. That's a level of survival mode that it's just not healthy to consistently live in. So even if it's just taking one night away for yourself, at least it gets you out of that environment just so you can take a deep breath and everything doesn't feel so painful all the time. So along those same lines, but slightly different, is the idea of not being a widow first. Like I was saying before, I felt like in my neighborhood, in my community, there were a lot of eyes on me in terms of me being a widow. I don't know if that's actually true or is my perception, but either way, as soon as I traveled and I got outside of my community, I really just felt like I didn't have to be a widow first. I can just be a woman traveling with my kids. And for some reason, even though it was still just me and the kids, when I was home, I felt like I was worried about the questions people would ask about a single mother with the kids. I was worried about lots of things. But when I was traveling, it just didn't feel that way anymore. I just felt like I could invest in just identifying with myself again instead of myself as a widow. And that felt really, really good. Another thing that I know is true for me and is also shared with me by many people is that when your person dies, there are future dreams and travels that die right along with them. I know when my husband died, we had plans of taking the kids to Paris someday. Now, we didn't have any actual specific plans, although I know some of you do, but there was this dream of bringing the kids to see the Eiffel Tower. And if you actually plan to bring those dreams to fruition, even though your spouse or your partner can't come along with you, there's something very fulfilling in being able to live out that dream that you had planned together. It's also just a little reminder that the future is still hopeful and that it's still possible, even though obviously it won't look the same as it would have before, but there is still beauty and wonderful things in the future for you. Speaking of which, I just find it really, really powerful to have something on the calendar to look forward to. When you're in those really deep moments where you just feel like this is impossible, I would like to give up, I don't want to do this, it is so nice to know, okay, well, in 2 months, we're going to go on this trip and it's going to feel great. And it gives you just a little bit of something positive in the future instead of feeling like everything is dark and hard and a struggle. Okay, another one of my absolute favorite reasons to travel as a widow is because it builds such amazing confidence and really empowers you around what you're capable of doing. Most people, and this is totally understandable, and I felt the same way, felt like traveling alone, especially if you're bringing kids along, is nearly impossible. Like one adult, especially if you're outnumbered, multiple kids, it's a lot of work. It can be really hard. For a long time, I brought family members and friends along, and that was very helpful. Doing it alone with the kids was actually a challenge. But then if you do it, even if you just do a weekend trip or a little road trip, it just builds this confidence in you like, oh my gosh, I did that. We got through it, and there were hard parts, of course, obviously, but it empowers you not just to travel more, but empowers you in other parts of your life. It ends up sort of touching everything: money decisions, work decisions, parenting decisions, all the scary stuff. None of that's fun to do on your own, but it is nice to have the confidence that you are fully capable. So like I said, all of this isn't just my opinion. I talked to many different widows who shared with me why they do this, and here's some of the top responses. Like I said, people really want something to look forward to. They want to recharge their batteries. They want to feel calm and peaceful, especially in nature. They really want to take a break from the weight of everyday grief life. They want to remind themselves and show their kids that life can still be beautiful and that there is a lot to live for. And probably the one I hear the most frequently and also saw in the survey is that life is short, and people realize, especially after you lose the most important person to you, you have to do things now because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. I mean, we know that better than anybody. Traveling just fits so perfectly into that. You don't want to postpone travel for one day when you can't afford it, when you have the time. You need to actually schedule it into your life so that it happens and that you're building those experiences and creating those memories. So quick reality check, and I do just want to address sort of the elephant in the room, which I think will always be on this topic, that people can outrun their grief or escape their grief. Obviously, when you're traveling and you're grieving, those things are going to happen simultaneously. So while you are in one of the most beautiful places in the world, you might burst into tears, and that's totally normal. I can remember actually sitting in this amazing waterfall in Costa Rica on one of our Widows in the Wild trips. It was such a beautiful moment, and I remember several of the girls walked away from that moment being like, I just needed that cry. Just had to let it out and have that moment where I grieve the fact that I'm now doing this in a group of widows instead of with my husband, which is why we're there together in the first place. But it's important to have those moments as you go. That's all part of the grieving process. You're not leaving it at home. Of course, you're going to bring it with you. What I've really found traveling does for me best is it gives me all of those things that we're talking about: the relief, the hopefulness, the promise of the future, the great experiences, so that when I come back and there's hard things to deal with and you are forced to face all of your responsibilities and the day-to-day weight of grief, that you have those positive things sitting right in the back of your brain that you can access again. And for me, it was a really important reminder that joy is possible, happiness is possible, and that those parts of myself that I thought maybe had been lost in widowhood, that they were there. I just needed to access them. I needed time for them to come back, but that it was possible for me to get back to a life where I felt like myself again. If that sounds really compelling to you, I just want to remind you again that if we hop on a travel clarity call, I can really help you through how we make that happen for you in a financially responsible way through the program that I run, filled with other widows who love to travel. I'd love to talk to you about it. So grab the link below, get on my calendar, and we will plan and dream and talk practically together about how to make this happen. So also, I just want to point out that traveling doesn't have to be a trip around the world, right? It's really nice actually to think about taking this in small steps. I was just talking to a girl today who said, I'm not sure if I want to go alone by myself or with friends. I just know I need to get away. And my advice was, why don't you take one night? Just go to your nearest city or to the woods or whatever you want to do. Go by yourself and see if you enjoy that, or if while you're there, you're longing to be with other people. And then you'll know if you want to take a weekend away, whether you want to do that alone or whether you'd rather bring friends with you. Think of it like a ladder. Take a night away, take a weekend away, and then maybe when you're ready, you can take a bigger trip or get on a plane or a longer road trip. Small incremental growth is pretty common, and a lot of people like to bring friends or family along, get some feet under you before you end up going on your own. All of this to say, there is really nothing to be guilty about when it comes to traveling as a way of healing and as part of your grief journey. I'm 100% positive that your person who died wants you to live and be happy. And I know that sounds like such a cliche, but I also know it's true. Traveling is a part of everybody's life. 100% of the widows I surveyed said that they're traveling multiple times a year. The largest number of people said they travel between 4 and 6 times a year. That's like every other month. It is a natural compulsion. Maybe that just means going to see family or friends. That's totally fine. That counts as travel. It's just, I want you to feel good about it. And you are fully capable of doing this either on your own or with friends or in a way that feels good to you. And again, if you're interested in support as you think about expanding and going up that ladder from road trips or seeing family and friends to getting on planes and doing a little bit more adventurous travel, that's what I teach in my program, the Travel More Method for Widows. I help fellow widows who are interested in travel learn how to do this. It totally transformed my life to learn this skill. So that's why I made my business about teaching other widows how to do it, because I know what a huge impact it had on me and really the way that I'm going to travel for the rest of my life. I would love to support you in that. You can grab the link below and get on my calendar. Maybe add it to your therapy plan as you think about the ways you are going to heal best and work through this really hard thing. I would love to hear in the comments what kind of travel you've done or experienced or what you're hoping to do, because I know I'm not the only one who's out here traveling. Let's share with each other. It's always so nice to be encouraging in the widow community and see these positive stories that give people hope. I look forward to seeing you on a call. Until next week.